The video is only 14 seconds long, but it has already changed everything. Because in those 14 seconds, KingHarris, T.I.'s son, did something so shocking, so disrespectful, so spiritually dangerous, that even people who don't like 50 Cent are saying the same thing. He went too far. This wasn't trolling. This wasn't a joke. This wasn't clout chasing. This was violation on the deepest level. Because the footage shows KingHarris standing in a cemetery. But not just any cemetery. The exact cemetery where 50 Cent's mother, Sabrina Jackson, is buried. And he wasn't quiet. He wasn't respectful. He wasn't emotional. He was laughing, pointing, joking, acting like the graves were props in his little Instagram comedy skit. At one point, he even leans into the camera and says, "Y'all legends ain't that legendary to me." The internet stopped. Instantly, nobody breathed. Nobody blinked. Nobody believed what they were watching, because King didn't disrespect a person. He disrespected an ancestor, a mother, a woman 50 Cent has publicly said is the reason he even survived childhood. And the second 50 saw the video, it was over. Insiders say he froze first. Then his face changed. Then he whispered something so cold it sent chills through the entire room. Nah, he didn't just do that. Sources say 50 didn't explode. He went silent. And anyone who knows 50 Cent knows that his silence is 10 times scarier than his trolling. 50 is not laughing this one off. He's not playing. This kid is in real danger. Somebody better stop King before 50 does. But here's the part nobody expected. King wasn't acting alone. He wasn't just being reckless. He wasn't just chasing views. There is a bigger name behind this, a mentor, an older rapper with a long, bloody history with 50 Cent. A man who allegedly told King exactly where to go and what to do once he got there. And that man? He wanted this beef resurrected, long before KingHarris walked into that cemetery with a phone in his hand and disrespect in his heart. Long before the internet erupted in disbelief. Long before 50 Cent's rage became the most talked about topic in hip-hop, there was already a storm forming behind the scenes. And the people closest to that storm had been ignoring the signs for years. Because this wasn't just a random stunt. This wasn't teenage rebellion. This wasn't a young rapper trying too hard for clout. This was the result of a long, slow, dangerous buildup. One that started the moment KingHarris decided he wanted to be seen as more gangster than the life he was actually born into. People forget this, but KingHarris did not grow up in the trenches. He didn't come from poverty, and he didn't struggle for survival. He was raised in a mansion surrounded by security, wealth, opportunity, fame, and privilege. T.I. and Tiny did everything they could to give him a comfortable, protected childhood, the kind they never had. But King didn't want comfort. He didn't want safety. He didn't want privilege. He wanted respect. And not the kind earned through music, achievements, or talent. King wanted street respect, hood respect, the kind of validation you can't buy and can't fake. But he kept trying to fake it anyway. For years, fans watched him argue in Waffle Houses, threaten people on live, brag about a childhood he never lived, and insist he was raised in the trenches, even while sitting in a luxury SUV with a personal driver. But what the public didn't know is that King's obsession with proving himself wasn't just for social media. Behind closed doors, his behavior was worrying the entire Harris family. Friends say King started hanging around older guys, men way above his age bracket, who whispered in his ear, "You're bigger than your daddy. You gotta show people you're real. You need a moment that stamps you. You gotta do something the whole world can't ignore." Those same voices fed his ego, pushed him further, made him believe he was invincible. And that's where the real danger begins. Because King didn't seek advice from mentors who wanted to protect him, and he gravitated toward men who wanted him reckless. Men who wanted chaos. Men who saw him not as a kid, but as a tool, a pawn they could use to send messages, start beef, revive old grudges, and stir the pot in the messiest way possible. One of those men? Someone deeply connected to a decades-old feud. Someone who views 50 Cent as his eternal enemy. Someone who never got over the fact that 50 destroyed his entire movement in the early 2000s. A man who used King's insecurity as a weapon. But before we get to him, you need to understand why 50 reacted the way he did. 50 Cent is not a man who gets emotional easily. He doesn't cry in public. He doesn't show vulnerability. He doesn't let anyone see him shaken. But the one person who could break him? The one soul he always protected? The one loss that shaped his entire life trajectory? His mother, Sabrina Jackson. She wasn't just a mother. She was his foundation. She was his teacher, his guardian, his inspiration. In her death when he was a child was the trauma that hardened him, the wound that never healed. Every fight he survived, every enemy he crushed, every dollar he earned, every success he built, he always credited her. So when a young, clueless rapper walked into a graveyard, her graveyard, with a camera rolling and disrespect in his voice, 50 didn't see KingHarris. He saw a violation of his mother's memory. And that is a line even rappers who hate 50 refuse to cross. And this wasn't a diss track. This wasn't a joke. This wasn't trolling. This was spiritual desecration. What makes it worse? King wasn't even fully aware of the gravity of what he was doing. Because someone coached him into it. Someone told him, that's how you get attention. That's how you make headlines. That's how you prove you're not scared. That's how you show you're bigger than the old generation. Those words were not his own, because people close to King confirm that he has been heavily influenced lately by older rappers who feel ignored, bitter, overlooked, and angry at the industry. They see King as an easy spark, a loud mouth with a famous father, a kid too stubborn to recognize danger, a boy desperate to be feared, the perfect tool. Meanwhile, I has been struggling behind the scenes, trying to guide King back onto a safer path, trying to redirect him, trying to stop him from spiraling deeper into persona building that could get him hurt. But King kept pushing. Every time I tried to talk to him, no disrespect, Pops, but I'm grown now. Every time Tiny tried to calm him down, I'm not finna be no soft celebrity kid. Every time fans told him he was going too far, that's because y'all scared of real ones. Real ones. King wasn't listening to real ones. He was listening to manipulators. And then, the moment the cemetery video leaked, everything clicked. Because the location of that cemetery is not publicly available. It's not a tourist spot. It's not something you stumble upon. Someone gave King the address. Someone gave King the instructions. Someone gave King the lines he said on camera. And when 50 heard the exact words King used, the phrases, the tone, the attitude, he immediately recognized the influence behind it. This wasn't King. This wasn't youthful stupidity. This wasn't accidental. This was calculated. This was directed. This was strategically planned by someone who knows exactly how to hurt 50 Cent emotionally. And the moment 50 realized who was behind it, that's when the feud shifted from disrespect to something much darker. Because 50 Cent doesn't go after kids, but he will go after the grown man who used that kid as a weapon. And that is where this story truly begins. Because the person pulling the strings, and he didn't expect the video to leak early. He didn't expect King to brag. He didn't expect the internet to explode. He didn't expect 50 to connect the dots this fast. And now, that man is hiding. The moment the cemetery clip hit the internet, the second KingHarris's face appeared on camera, laughing near 50 Cent's mother's grave. The entire hip-hop world stopped breathing. But behind the scenes, a much bigger disaster was already unfolding. A disaster that King had no idea he was trapped in. A disaster carefully engineered by a man who wanted revenge, but didn't have the courage to deliver it himself. Because the truth is, KingHarris wasn't the mastermind. He wasn't the instigator. He wasn't even the brains behind the operation. King was the weapon. a loud, impulsive, easily influenced weapon placed in the hands of someone who knew exactly how to use him. Someone who wanted to resurrect a feud that once shook the industry. And someone who wanted 50's attention without taking the risk of stepping to him directly. But before the internet discovered who that someone was, chaos erupted inside the Harris household. I was livid when he saw the video. Not angry in a public relations way. Not, oh no, the blogs caught my son slipping. But furious in a way only a father can be when he realizes his child has crossed a line that could get the whole family hurt. A witness claims T.I. He punched a wall when he saw the clip and shouted, "Does he know who he just disrespected? Does he understand what he just did?" Tiny was crying. Zonique was pacing. Damani refused to comment. The entire house felt like it was preparing for a storm. Because they knew 50 Cent does not forgive this level of disrespect. But while T.I. scrambled to get to King, King was not answering calls, not responding to texts, not communicating with anyone. Why? Yeah, because King was busy filming something else. Something worse. Something planned. Something he thought would prove he was untouchable. And he was doing it under the direction of a man much older, much angrier, and much more dangerous. While I was blowing up King's phone, King was sitting inside a black SUV parked on a back street, listening to the mastermind's voice notes. Part 1 shook them, but Part 2? And that's the one that's going to make headlines. You got to push it further. Don't be scared. You a Harris. You built for this. You want the world to see you as a man? Then do something no one forgets. And King, blinded by ego, nodded along like he was being anointed for greatness. But the man behind those messages didn't care about King's safety. He didn't care about the consequences. He didn't care if King destroyed his future. He only cared about one thing: hurting 50 Cent. But how did this man get into King's ear? How did he convince him? How did he manipulate him this deeply? It goes back months. King has always wanted OG approval. Not from his father, not from his family, but from rappers who lived the life he pretends he did. So when this older rapper began inviting King into late-night studio sessions, secret parties, and industry talks, King felt chosen. He felt seen. He felt respected. He didn't realize he was being groomed. Yeah, the mastermind told King, "You're bigger than your daddy. You can be the face of the new generation. People just need to see you're fearless. No one is shaking the culture right now. You can." King believed every word. This man, the ex-Murder Inc. affiliate, knew exactly how to hook him. Play to his pride. Play to his insecurities. Play to his anger. Play to his obsession with proving he isn't a soft celebrity kid. The cemetery stunt was not King's idea, and it was presented to him as a moment. This will make you legendary. This will get everyone talking. This will show the world you fear nothing, not even 50. You gotta break the biggest statue to build your own. And King, who never learned the real rules of the streets, didn't understand the weight of what he was doing. He thought it was a game. He thought disrespecting the dead was edgy. He thought people would call him fearless. He did not know that grave disrespect is spiritual warfare. He did not know 50's mother is sacred. He did not know he was stepping on land people pray over. He did not know this was the one line you never cross. But the mastermind knew. That was the point. Part 1 was emotional destruction. Part 2 was spiritual destruction. But then something happened that the mastermind didn't expect. Someone leaked a message. Like a DM exchange between King and the older rapper surfaced on a small gossip page when only for 10 minutes before it was taken down. But screenshots spread fast. The messages showed King asking, "You sure this is going to work?" The older rapper replied, "Trust me, 50 won't touch you. He'll be too scared to look weak beefing with a kid." Then another message. "And if he does react, even better." This wasn't clout chasing, this was bait. Deliberate bait, a trap. Designed to push 50 Cent into a public meltdown. Designed to make him look like the aggressor. designed to revive old feuds the mastermind never recovered from. And here's where the first major twist drops. Someone from TY's team recognized the number in the screenshots. It belonged to a man who used to be very close to Ja Rule. A man known for instigating beef. A man who has publicly dissed 50 before. A man who has been quiet for years until now. When T.I. realized who had been influencing his son, he lost it. According to insiders, T.I. confronted King and shouted, "He is using you. He don't care about you. He trying to start a war with that man through you." But King, embarrassed and defensive, yelled back, "Nah, he believes in me. He sees what you don't." That sentence broke Tiny instantly, because it proved the manipulation had worked. The mastermind wasn't just feeding King ego, he was turning him against his own family. But the biggest twist? That wasn't the only manipulation. When T.I. checked King's recent Cash App transactions, there were several payments: $1,000, $3,500, $7,000, $12,000 from the same man. The mastermind paid King to do this. This wasn't mentorship. This wasn't bonding. This wasn't industry guidance. This was bribery. King wasn't being empowered, he was being bought. The cemetery stunt? Paid for. The second video? Paid for. The disrespect lines? Paid for. The black rose? Paid for. Every detail was orchestrated, and the moment T.I. saw those payments, he realized this wasn't King being rebellious. This was a grown man weaponizing his son. But here's where everything flips upside down. Because while T.I. was confronting King, 50 Cent was confronting the mastermind. Someone on 50's team leaked that 50 had reached out directly to the man behind it all. No lawyers, no managers, no PR filters, just 50 Cent. And whatever he said on that call, it shook the mastermind so badly. He turned his phone off for 2 days, but the first twist isn't that 50 confronted him. The twist is the mastermind is not working alone. There is a second conspirator, someone even closer to King's family. Someone whose name will shock the industry when exposed. Someone King trusted. Someone T.I. knows. Someone who had access to the cemetery location. And that reveal changes everything. When T.I. discovered that King had been paid by the ex-Murder Inc. affiliate to record the cemetery footage, the entire Harris household entered lockdown mode. Phones confiscated, social media banned, PR teams contacted, lawyers called, Tiny crying. T.I. pacing back and forth like a man ready to go to war. But what nobody knew, not T.I., not Tiny, not even King, was that the mastermind wasn't working alone. There was a second conspirator. Someone much closer to King. Someone who had access to personal locations. Someone with emotional influence over him. Someone who hated 50 Cent quietly, but deeply. And that person is who 50 Cent found out about first. Because after confronting the ex-Murder Inc. affiliate over the phone, a call that allegedly left the man shaken and speechless, 50 got a second message. A message from an anonymous number. It said, "He ain't the only one. Look closer at King's team." That was it. One sentence. No name, no explanation. But it was enough. Because the moment 50 read those words, he got a bad feeling. A feeling he recognized instantly. The same gut feeling he had when people moved weird in the streets. The same sense he got when snakes were nearby. The same instinct that protected him through the most dangerous years of his life. And he knew. This wasn't just an outside enemy. This wasn't just an old beef revived. This wasn't just a washed rapper seeking revenge. Someone internally was helping. And so while the internet was screaming for 50 to respond publicly and the blogs were pumping out articles titled 50 versus King, the war begins, 50 stayed silent, but busy. He began digging, calling people, checking old names, pulling up receipts, asking questions quietly through trusted sources. And by 3 a.m. that night, the picture became terrifyingly clear. King had a mole. someone in his close circle, someone he talked to every day, someone T.I. never suspected, someone who pretended to be an older brother figure to him. A man King considered family, not blood family, but street family. A man named Smoke who used to be part of a production crew tied to Murder Inc. back in the early 2000s. A man who vanished when things went bad, only to reappear years later working with smaller artists, pretending to mentor industry kids. This was the second conspirator, and Smoke had been whispering in King's ear for months. Your daddy too clean to understand real beef. You gotta show you different. You can stand next to legends if you disrespect legends. You ain't a kid no more, time to prove it. And here's the horrifying part. Smoke was the one who gave King the cemetery location, not the mastermind, not the ex-Murder Inc. affiliate. Smoke. How? Because Smoke used to work with someone who lived on the same block as Sabrina Jackson's gravesite. He knew exactly where the cemetery was. He knew exactly what the location symbolized, and he knew exactly how much it would trigger 50 Cent. But Smoke didn't just give King the location. He drove him there. Yes, the footage everyone saw, the video that shook the internet. King wasn't alone. Smoke was behind the camera. The laughing, the disrespect, the pointing, the arrogance. The phrases King said, Smoke fed him every line. And it gets worse. Way worse. Because after the cemetery stunt, my Smoke encouraged King to film the second video in us, the Black Rose footage, in front of 50 Cent's childhood home. He arranged the transportation. He told King what to say. He even filmed alternate takes. This wasn't a prank. This wasn't impulsive. This wasn't King being reckless. This was a produced hit piece. A carefully crafted disrespect project, almost like a music video, and designed to psychologically wound 50 Cent on a level deeper than any diss track ever could. But here's where the true escalation begins. Because while T.I. was screaming at King inside the mansion, demanding he reveal who helped him, King kept protecting Smoke. He said, "It was my idea. I did it myself." But King's phone, when T.I. checked it, told a different story. Voice notes from Smoke. Maps pinned by Smoke. Scripts ghostwritten by Smoke. Cash app payments from Smoke. Pickup times arranged by Smoke. And then, the most explosive screenshot of all. A message from Smoke that said, "We bout to humble a legend. Welcome to the big leagues." When T.I. saw that, he reportedly threw King's phone across the room and shouted, "He set you up! He set us all up! You playing with a man who don't play!" But King didn't get it. He genuinely didn't understand. Because Smoke didn't raise him. Smoke manipulated him. Smoke weaponized his insecurities. Smoke made him feel invincible. It wasn't until T.I. Yelled, "He used you to do his dirty work. He don't care if you get hurt." That King's face finally changed. Because this is the part nobody knew. Smoke had also been in contact with the ex-Murder Inc. affiliate. They were working together, coordinating, strategizing, feeding King lies, building him up to believe he was chosen, planning a series of stunts aimed at humiliating 50 Cent. Part 1, the grave. Part 2, the Black Rose. Part 3, a full diss track. Yes, a diss track. And King had already recorded vocals written by Smoke and the Mastermind's team, targeting 50 personally. It wasn't released yet, but insiders say it exists, and it is vicious. 50 Cent got wind of the diss track through one of his own industry spies. And that's when 50 lost it. Because the Black Rose footage didn't hurt him. The grave video didn't break him. The disrespect didn't shake him. But using a child to resurrect a dead beef? Using a child to invoke the dead? Is using a child to disrespect his mother? Using a child to deliver messages meant for grown men? That crossed a line 50 Cent never forgives. He reportedly slammed his fist on the table and said, "I'm done playing with these clowns. I want the ones behind it, not the boy." And that's when the shocking twist happened. Smoke disappeared, his phone disconnected, his social media wiped, his address abandoned, his car missing. Gone. Vanished the same day. 50 exposed the scheme privately to a few trusted people. And when King tried calling him, no answer. When T.I. tried contacting him, nothing. When the mastermind tried reaching him, phone dead. The betrayal was complete. Smoke used King as a pawn. But the moment things got dangerous, he ran. And now, everyone knows he's hiding, but nobody knows why he fled so fast. Unless someone warned him that 50 Cent was coming. Someone told him the game was over. And the next person in danger is the mastermind himself. Because 50 has the receipts, he has the voice notes, he has the screenshots, he has the cash trail, and he knows exactly what to do next. When news leaked that Smoke, the man who coached King, drove him to the graveyard, filmed the footage, wrote the lines, arranged the second video, and secretly partnered with an ex-Murder Inc. affiliate, had suddenly vanished, the entire industry erupted. This wasn't kid drama anymore, and this wasn't internet mess. This wasn't celebrity child acting wild. This was real beef territory. This was a conspiracy unraveling live. This was grown man war simmering beneath the surface. The public didn't know everything yet, but enough details had leaked to send social media into meltdown mode. Twitter was on fire. Nah, this is deeper than King. Who is Smoke? King was set up. Wait, this is grown man manipulation. 50 not going after a kid. He going after whoever ghosted. This about to be another 2002 all over again. And then a fan tweeted, "I bet Smoke ran because someone told him 50 was looking for him." That tweet alone went viral instantly. Because everybody knew, if 50 Cent is looking for you, you don't sleep. You don't eat. You don't go outside. You don't breathe loud. You disappear. Exactly what Smoke did. A hip-hop blog started piecing the story together. King was used like a pawn. Smoke was the director. The Murder Inc. affiliate was the strategist. The goal was to provoke 50. But the industry reaction? That's where things got insane. Snoop Dogg posted a cryptic message. Kids ain't supposed to carry grown men's beef. Yeah, and y'all dirty for that. Then Meek Mill posted, "Some OGs need to be in jail for the way they manipulate these lil dudes." The comments were nothing but flames. They talking about Smoke. They talking about the Murder Inc. dude. This thing is unraveling fast. Then 50's friend Tony Yayo commented under a post, "They woke up a demon they can't handle." That one comment got 7 million views in hours. But then, the person nobody expected spoke. T.I. finally broke his silence. He went live, and face tight, tone serious, eyes full of fury and exhaustion. He said, "My son made a mistake, but the grown men who put him in that position, they're the ones who crossed the line." Fans flooded the chat. "Call them out! Name the men! Drop the receipts!" But T.I. wasn't done. He said, "You don't manipulate a child into disrespecting the dead. You don't turn a kid into a weapon. Yeah, you don't drag somebody's mama into no rap beef." Then he paused and delivered a line that shook everybody. "And I'ma handle those men personally." The internet blew up. T.I. versus Murder Inc. Part 2? Tip is stepping into the beef? This is getting way too real. Man, this ain't music anymore. But just as people were recovering from T.I.'s statement, another bomb dropped. A leaked audio recording surfaced online. Allegedly Smoke's voice. In the audio, Smoke says, "I ain't scared of 50. He just a businessman now." Another line. "King gonna be a star after this. Watch." And the worst line. "He don't even know why we chose him. Perfect dummy." The internet lost its mind. People were furious. Smoke called King a dummy? He used that boy, then abandoned him? This is manipulation on a sick level. So Smoke really was the puppet master. Even celebrities reacted. Boosie went off. That dude Smoke need his ass whooped. On a period. Charlemagne spoke on The Breakfast Club. This ain't beef. This is grooming. This is exploitation. Smoke needs to be exposed. DJ Envy added, and where is he now? Hiding? Running? That says everything. Meanwhile, Ja Rule jumped back into the conversation with a tweet he deleted instantly. Man, y'all believe anything. Screenshots hit the internet before he blinked. People dragged him. He nervous. He involved. He's scared of the truth coming out. He trying to distance himself now? The Murder Inc. affiliate, the older rapper behind the plan, Owen, stayed silent. But his silence only made the story grow. Then TMZ posted, sources say 50 Cent is gathering evidence. That headline alone sent everyone spiraling, because if 50 is gathering evidence, that means he's preparing a public takedown. Not a diss record, not a meme, not a joke, a full expose. And people were begging him in the comments, 50, please drop the names. Tell us who set King up. This gonna blow the industry apart. We ready for the tea. Meanwhile, KingHarris broke his silence for the first time. He posted on his IG story, they lied on me. I ain't snitching on my people. That created an explosion of confusion. Wait, he's still defending Smoke? He don't know Smoke betrayed him? This boy is too loyal to the wrong people. King is protecting the man who left him to take the fall. Even Tiny commented on a fan page. He doesn't understand everything yet. King was still in the dark. He didn't know Smoke had run. He didn't know the affiliate was panicking. He didn't know the industry was turning on the older men, not him. And then the biggest twist hit the timeline. An anonymous ex-Murder Inc. employee leaked a message. There's a third person involved, the one who started the whole plan. Not Smoke. Not the affiliate. Someone bigger. The internet froze. Bigger? Who could be bigger? There's another mastermind? This story keeps twisting. Even celebrities reacted third person? This is a movie now! Hip-hop is on fire. Blogs started speculating names. And Twitter turned into a war zone of theories. YouTube exploded with breakdowns. Meanwhile, 50 posted one message. I know who you are. No emojis, no jokes, no memes. Just that. Everybody knew. The third mastermind is someone powerful. And when his name drops, this entire industry is going to shake. Just when everyone thought this story had reached its peak, when fans believed Smoke disappearing was the final twist, when bloggers assumed the Murder Inc. affiliate was the true puppet master, when the internet was convinced KingHarris had been used by two grown men, the real bombshell dropped. A third mastermind. A ghost in the background. A shadow pulling strings. A powerful figure who didn't need money, clout, or fame. Someone who had something much deeper to gain. And the first hint came from the anonymous ex-Murder Inc. employee who leaked that chilling message. There's a third person involved. The one who started it all. Not Smoke, not the affiliate. Must someone bigger. Social media went feral. Bigger than Murder Inc.? Who the F is above these guys? This is about to get ugly. But nobody expected what came next. Because hours after that message went viral, T.I. received a private call from someone in Atlanta, a person he trusts. Someone who has been around the industry for decades. And that person said, tip. King wasn't approached by two men. He was approached by three. T.I. I went silent. The caller continued. Smoke was the runner, and the affiliate was the strategist. But the third guy? He's the investor. The investor. A word that sent chills down T.I.'s spine. Because in entertainment, an investor doesn't mean someone putting up money. It means someone putting up protection, influence, access, security, political cover. This wasn't just beef. This was business. And the third mastermind? He didn't want a diss track. He didn't want clout. He didn't want fame. He wanted 50 Cent humiliated publicly. Because 50 Cent had cost him millions in the past. Yes, millions. And not through music, not through beef, not through radio, through television. Because years ago, 50 Cent quietly shut down a major TV deal this man had been developing. A deal he had spent 5 years trying to get funded. A deal that fell apart the moment 50 announced his own project with Stars. A project that made this Third Man series instantly unnecessary to the network. Executives walked away. Investors pulled out. And this man lost everything attached to it. He blamed one person, 50 Cent. Not the network, not the timing, not the competition, 50 Cent. And this man, this hidden third mastermind, vowed that one day he'd get revenge. But not with fists, not with guns, not with music. He wanted psychological destruction. He wanted to hit 50 where it hurts. He wanted to resurrect a wound 50 never healed from. And that wound was Sabrina Jackson. And the mastermind figured 50 Cent was untouchable everywhere else. Money, fame, power, influence. But emotionally, his mother was the only soft spot. So he recruited 2 bitter, desperate men, Smoke and the Murder Inc. affiliate, to carry out the plan. He knew they would gladly participate because they had their own reasons for hating 50. Smoke wanted relevance, the affiliate wanted revenge, and the investor wanted to watch 50 crumble publicly. The perfect storm. Meanwhile, KingHarris, wild, emotional, validation-hungry, was the easiest pawn they could possibly find. They didn't need kings, they needed a fool, and King fit the role perfectly. But here's where the twist becomes insane. 50 Cent found out the third mastermind's identity before T.I. did. Someone inside the industry, someone loyal to 50, sent him a folder. A digital folder, filled with messages, voice notes, screenshots, wire transfers, proof that the third man funded the entire operation. And when 50 opened that folder, his expression changed completely. He reportedly said one sentence, like a sentence so cold it instantly leaked. "Oh, it's you." Not shock, not confusion, not anger, recognition. 50 knew the man, knew his history, knew his motives, knew exactly why he wanted revenge. And the craziest part? This third mastermind has a business relationship with T.I., a big one. Which means the betrayal wasn't just against 50, it was against the Harris family too. This wasn't King's doing. This wasn't Smoke's doing. This wasn't a washed rapper's doing. This was a planned operation financed by a man with real industry power. And the internet still doesn't know his name. But something terrifying happened after 50 saw the folder. He posted one message, a single line that sent shivers through the entire culture. "Everyone who played a part in this, I'm coming for you." No emojis, no laughter, no trolling, just a promise. And that's when the third mastermind panicked. He shut down his social media, he canceled appearances, he postponed meetings, he halted production on his current projects. Insiders say he called 3 lawyers in one night. 3. Because he knows what everyone else knows. 50 Cent doesn't start anything he can't finish. Smoke is already hiding. The affiliate is scrambling. The mastermind is panicking. And KingHarris? King is realizing, slowly, painfully, that he is the reason a decades-long beef has been reborn. But before anyone could breathe, before the blogs could catch up, before the industry could settle, a new video surfaced, a blurry clip. Nighttime, low lighting, but clear enough to recognize the voice. KingHarris saying, "It's too late now. Part 2 already out there." Part 2, the Black Rose footage. Someone leaked it privately, and the only question now is, who has the second video, and when will it drop publicly? And if you're still here after all of this, After the graveyard disrespect, after the hidden mastermind reveal, after Smoke's disappearance, after the industry shook to its core, then you already know one thing. This story is far from over. In fact, it's only just beginning. Because what started as a reckless teenager chasing clout has now been exposed as a multi-layered, decades-old revenge plot involving 3 grown men, one of them powerful enough to shake the entire entertainment industry. And now that 50 Cent knows exactly who was behind this, someone is about to face consequences they never imagined. So let me ask you, yes, you watching this, do you think KingHarris even understands the level of danger he created? Do you think Smoke is hiding because someone tipped him off? Do you think the Murder Inc. affiliate is scared of getting exposed next? Do you think the third mastermind, the investor, should be named publicly? Do you think T.I. will confront him? Or will 50 Cent take matters into his own hands and reveal everything himself? And more importantly, who do you think leaked Part 2? Because the Black Rose footage is out there. Someone has it. Someone sent it out privately. Someone is waiting for the perfect time to release it and finish what they started. Drop your theories. All of them. No guess is too crazy. No angle is too wild. This comment section better look like a crime board because this saga has more twists coming. And the fans are already ahead of half the blogs out there. And listen, if you thought this chapter was messy, if you thought Smoke vanishing was suspicious, if you thought the mastermind reveal was unbelievable, if you thought King's last recorded message was chilling, just wait until the next leak drops. Insiders are already whispering that the second video, and the one King said is already out there, contains something even more disrespectful, something that will make the graveyard footage look tame. And when that hits the public, hip-hop is going to explode again. So before you go, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn your notifications all the way on, because the next update in this story could drop any minute. And trust me, you do not want to be the last one to find out who the real villain is in the situation, and what 50 Cent plans to do next. This war? It's just getting started.